Dear children, welcome to the next session on the chapter Excretory Products and its Elimination. In this module, we are going to learn about how the urine is formed, the steps involved in urine formation. There are three steps involved in urine formation, that is glomerular filtration, reabsorption, and tubular secretion. The first step, that is glomerular filtration. The blood which is reaching into or which is entering into the glomerulus through the afferent arteriole has to pass through three layers. What are the three layers? That is the endothelium of the glomerular blood vessels. Second is the epithelium of the Bowman's capsule. And third is the basement membrane between the endothelium and the epithelium. So we can see this is the epithelial tissue of the Bowman's capsule. You can see the basement membrane and the endothelium of the blood vessels. So these three layers are to be passed by the blood. The epithelial cells of the Bowman's capsules are called as podocytes. Okay, and they are arranged in an intricate manner. They are arranged in such a way so that it leaves small minute spaces, and these spaces are called as filtration slits. We can see the filtration slits over here, small filtration slits, which is formed by the intricate manner of arrangement of the podocytes of the epithelial cells of the Bowman's capsule. The epithelial cells forms the filtration slits or the slit pores. We can see these are the slit pores. Okay, and almost all constituents of the blood plasma except the proteins which is present in the blood will pass through the lumen of the Bowman's capsule. Except the proteins, all the other constituents which is present in the blood plasma will pass into the lumen of the Bowman's capsule. And about 1100 to 1200 ml of blood is filtered by the kidneys per minute, and it constitutes about 1/5 of the total blood volume which is pumped out by the ventricles of the heart in a minute. So that's volume of blood which is filtered per minute. The amount of filtrate which is filtered by the glomerulus, which is passing through the three layers and entering into the lumen of the Bowman's capsule, is called as the glomerular filtrate rate, or it is called as a GFR, the amount of filtrate which is formed per minute. And the normal GFR is 125 ml per minute, or it is 180 liters per day. So the amount of glomerular filtrate formed per minute is 125 ml, and per day it is 180 liters. So 180 liters of the glomerular filtrate is produced daily. But of this, 99% is reabsorbed back by the renal tubule. So the normal volume of the urine released, we cannot excrete out, or we cannot expel out of this 180 liters. We do not have so much of blood. We have only minimal quantity of blood. So 99% has to be reabsorbed back by the renal tubule. So the volume of the urine released is 1.5 liters. From the filtrate, what all is reabsorbed? The glucose, the amino acids, the sodium ions are reabsorbed actively. Actively means with the help of energy. And nitrogenous waste are absorbed passively. In addition to the nitrogenous waste, passive reabsorption of water also occurs in the initial segments of the nephron, that is in the PCT, passive absorption of water. So what all is reabsorbed? Glucose, amino acid, sodium, nitrogenous waste, and water is absorbed actively and passively. 99% is reabsorbed, and this whole process is called as reabsorption, which is done by the renal tubule. The PCT absorbs most of the nutrients and about 70 to 80% of the electrolytes and water. And the simple cuboidal brush-bordered epithelial of the PCT, that is this part, the PCT, it increases surface area for the reabsorption due to the presence of ciliated epithelium, brush-bordered ciliated epithelium, which is lining the renal tubule, the proximal convoluted tubule. It helps in the increasing the surface area for reabsorption. So it helps in the absorption of 70 to 80% of the electrolytes and water. What is the role of a loop of Henle in reabsorption? It has to maintain high osmolarity of the medullary interstitial fluid. What is this medullary interstitial fluid? It is the fluid which is filled within the medulla. Which is filled within the medulla. So the loop of Henle, its role is to help in increasing the osmolarity, to increase the concentration of the salts or electrolytes in the medullary interstitial fluid. The descending limb, the Henle's loop, this hairpin shaped Henle's loop is divided into two limbs. That is, this is the descending limb which goes downward and the ascending limb which goes upward. The descending limb is permeable to water. It allows water to move or pass across it. But it is impermeable to electrolytes. It will not allow electrolytes to pass out. Okay. And what happened as a result? The urine which is formed initially gets concentrated because all the water goes out of the descending limb. And in ascending limb, minimal reabsorption occurs. It is impermeable to water. It does not allow water to go out but allows the transport of electrolytes. So the filtrate gets diluted. Here in the descending limb, the filtrates are not allowed to go out. Only the water is allowed to go out. So the urine becomes concentrated. Whereas in the ascending limb, it does not allow the water to go out, whereas it allows the electrolytes to pass. So it makes the filtrate diluted. In the distal convoluted tubule, what all are reabsorbed? Reabsorption of sodium and water takes place. Sodium ions and water takes place. And the role of collecting ducts. It extends from cortex to inner parts of the medulla as we had learned already. It reabsorbs large amount of water to concentrate the urine because 99% of the filtrate has to be reabsorbed back by the renal tubule, isn't it? And only a very small amount, that's 1.5 liters of urine has to be formed. So the collecting duct, it reabsorbs large amount of water to concentrate the urine. It also allows the passage of small amount of urea into this interstitial fluid to increase the osmolarity. Osmolarity means to increase the salt concentration. Is it clear? So that is about the reabsorption which is done by the PCT, the Henle's loop and the DCT. Last is tubular secretion. Cells of the PCT and DCT, they maintain the ionic balance, that is the sodium and potassium ion electrolyte balance, and the acid-base balance, that is pH of the body fluids, by selective secretion of H+, K+, and ammonia into the filtrate and absorption of bicarbonate from it. So in addition to reabsorption, some amount of the electrolytes and also secretion of the H+, K+, and ammonia is being done. Why? In order to maintain the ionic balance and to maintain the pH of the body fluids. So the collecting duct maintains the pH and ionic balance of the blood by secretion of H+ and K+ ions. So this is about the formation of urine. Initially, the glomerular filtrate is formed by passing through three layers, that is the endothelium, then the basement membrane and epithelium of the Bowman's capsule. And then reabsorption should take place of 99% of the filtrate which is formed. And what all is secreted? H+, K+, okay, all these are being secreted into the filtrate so as to maintain the ionic balance and also the pH of the body fluids. So that's about urine formation. 3 steps: glomerular filtration, selective reabsorption and secretion. Thank you.